School of Management Studies, IGNOU presents an audiobook on the course Mmpc 006 Marketing Management for MBA program. Block 2 Product and Pricing Decisions. Unit 6 Branding and Packaging Decisions. Part 1.
After reading this unit, you should be able to appreciate the importance of branding and packaging decisions in the marketing of products, to understand the branding decisions and alternative approaches in branding products, to understand the importance of packaging and its various functions, to appreciate the application of packaging as a marketing tool, and to familiarize yourself with important legal requirements affecting packaging decisions. Introduction. Today, most of consumer products and many industrial products, besides their basic features, need attractive packaging and an attractive name. The packaging, besides protecting the product, also enhances its value and often justifies a higher price, as in the case of all premium products class. Similarly, the brand name helps a consumer in instant recall, and this serves an important function for differentiating competing products of similar nature. Branding and packaging of products have undergone tremendous change in Indian context and continue to evolve with new packaging technologies and brand name strategies that would bring in a revolution in the business. From the days of mostly international brand names, we now have our own Indian names. Similarly, now we have increasing use of colorful thermoplastics and other more sophisticated and quality packaging material of products. In this unit, we would discuss these two important extrinsic attributes of a product, that is branding and packaging of products. Brand name and trademark. A crucial step in the branding strategy is deciding on a specific brand name for the product that is being introduced. In the earlier times, when the concept and practice of branding was much less developed, very often the family name or surname was used. Some of those are still very much alive. For example, Siemens or Ford. The other common method of branding was by way of addressing the product range of the company. Two famous examples are General Motors and General Electric. It seems the function that brand was supposed to perform was either to indicate the source or the origin of the product, that is family name, or indicate the product range. However, a brand name has emerged as one of the most important elements of the merchandising function in the recent times and will become more and more crucial as the competition becomes more severe in India. Let us understand what the conceptual meaning of the terms brand and brand name is. Brand. Brand is a word, mark, symbol, device, or a combination thereof used to identify some product or service. The definition clearly focuses on the function of a brand, that is to identify irrespective of the specific means employed for the identification. Brand name. The American Management Association defines it thus, and I quote, "Brand name is a part of a brand consisting of a word, letter, and group of words or letters comprising a name which is intended to identify the goods or services of a seller or a group of sellers and to differentiate them from those of competitors." Unquote. Comparing this definition with that of a brand, it is found that the function remaining the same, brand name is only one of the means that the brand can use for identification. Brand name is a word or a combination of words or letters that is pronounceable. For example, Promise toothpaste, Rexona soap, etc. Sometimes you must have also heard words like brand mark and trademark. Since a brand name is used in identification of a product amongst a competing set, it is necessary that each brand must have only a unique identity and it must also be protected by law. This brings in the concept of brand mark and trademark. A brand mark is a symbol used for the purpose of identification. It can be a mark, a design, a distinctive logo type, or a coloring scheme, a picture, etc. In other words, it is not a name but a means of identification. For example, picture of a small T in a distinct frame used by the India Tourism Development Corporation Limited. Government of India and the famous tri-star circle of a Mercedes-Benz car, or a T in circle which buses and trucks made by Tata Motors Limited have. A trademark is the legalized version of a brand. Brand falls under the category of industrial property rights and therefore subjected to certain rules and regulations. It can be registered and protected from being used by others. A brand or a part of a brand that is given legal protection because it is capable of exclusive appropriation is defined as a trademark. It is strictly speaking a legal concept, even though brand and trademark are quite often used synonymously. Branding decisions. Having an appropriate brand has emerged as the most important activity in the area of marketing of products, especially consumer products. Several decisions need to be taken, though not simultaneously, with regard to brand selection and its use. They are: Number 1. Should the product be branded at all? Number 2. Who should sponsor the brand? Number 3. What quality should be built into the brand? Number 4. Should each product be individually or family branded? Should other products be given the same brand name? Number 5. Should 2 or more brands be developed in the same product category? And number 6. Should the established brand be given a new meaning or repositioning? Now let's consider each of these issues. Number 1. Whether to brand a product or not is a decision which can be taken only after considering the nature of the product, the type of outlets envisaged for the product, the perceived advantages of branding, and the estimated cost of developing the brand. Historically, it is found that brand development is closely correlated with the increase in the disposable income, the sophistication of the distribution system, and the possible increasing size of the national market. The same trend is visible in India now. Even few years back, nobody could have thought of selling branded rice or refined flour and iodized salt, but several firms in the recent past have become successful even in such product categories. The basic reason is that a class of consumers is willing to pay more for uniform and better quality product represented by the brand. Irrespective of the location and from which retailer they buy, customers are always buying the same product attributes when they buy a branded product. Many other commodities, such as spices, are also now being branded. Today we see a strong trend in this direction, and this tendency would continue to become stronger in the coming years. Number 2. The question of sponsorship of a brand refers basically to the decision as to whether it should be a manufacturer's brand, also known as a national brand, or a private brand, also known as a middleman's brand. This is a major decision in most developed countries where large chain or departmental stores dominate the retail distribution system. Traditionally, the retail distribution was highly fragmented in India. For example, super bazaars have started marketing a few products which were specially packed and sold under their name. Thus, super bazaars, Mother Dairy, and National Consumers Cooperative Federation increased their numbers substantially in the last 4 decades. But today, the retail landscape has revolutionized the markets and marketplaces with innumerable MNC, national, regional, and private brands in every product category from safety pin to software products. In the present day, you will find a large chunk of all the mentioned players or brand names in various product categories that have already been established and made a mark for themselves. Number 3. A very crucial decision is with regard to the quality and other attributes to be built into the product. The matrix of such attributes will decide the product positioning. A marketer has the option to position his product at any segment of the market, that is top, bottom, or the intermediate. Taking one of the classic examples of detergents, Surf is positioned as a premium quality and high price product. At the other end of the scale, Nirma is positioned as low priced, while products from regional or local are positioned somewhere in between. Number 4. The marketer also has to decide at the outset whether he would like to adopt a family brand under which all the products of the company would be sold, or he would like to brand each product separately. Companies like GE or Philips follow the family name strategy, while GM follows the individual brand strategy. In India, L&T and Kisan are examples of the former. However, it is to be noted that Kisan brand was taken over by Hindustan Unilever, and thus it follows the later strategy similar to all other brands of Hindustan Unilever. The advantages in either approach are: Number 1. Family brand. One basic advantage of using the family brand is that it reduces the cost of product launching and ongoing promotional expenditure substantially. The firm has to promote only one brand, which, if successful, would be able to sell the entire product line. Lining up the distribution channel members also becomes comparatively easier. A family brand name has been found to be very cost-effective in tire marketing. Number 2. If one product does exceptionally well, it is perfectly possible that there would be positive fallouts for all other products being marketed under the same brand. Number 3. It is, however, necessary to be cautious in following this strategy. It will be a very ill-advised strategy if the products being offered are of highly uneven quality. It may not also be a good strategy if the markets are quite dissimilar in terms of consumer profile. And number 4, a greater weakness of this strategy is that it does not recognize that each product can be given a specific identity by a suitable brand, which can go a long way to make it successful. Now let's talk about individual brand. The weakness mentioned a while ago becomes the principal strength of this strategy. Consumer researchers have irrefutably established that a name can have varied associations and conjure diverse images. These psychological factors can immensely influence the buying decisions. Individual brand strategy is in a position to take care of this aspect of marketing. The second advantage of this strategy is that if there is a product failure, its damaging effect will be limited to that particular product and will not extend to the entire product line. Number 3. The basic disadvantage lies in the economics of developing an individual brand. It is obviously a costlier strategy than the other. Number 4. The other disadvantage is that the brand does not directly derive any benefit from the reputation of the firm. To take care of these problems, some firms follow a slightly modified strategy. This involves using individual brands but also giving prominence to the company name or logo in all promotional campaigns as well as in product packaging. For example, until 1990s, Tomco, that is Tata Oil Mills Company, followed individual brand strategy but displays prominently the words a Tata product. In many cases, a brand extension strategy is adopted. This really is an effort on the part of the manufacturer to secure additional mileage from a particularly successful product for launching either similar or even dissimilar product under the same brand. A recent successful example is the decision to introduce Maggi range of sauces to capitalize on the image of Maggi brand of noodles. And number 5, a firm may decide several brands of the same product which to some extent are competing inter se. The basic reason is that, at least in the consumer products, various benefits and appeals and even marginal differences between brands can win a large following. Brand repositioning. Over the life cycle of a product, several market parameters might undergo a change, such as introduction of a competing product, shifts in consumer preferences, identification of new needs, etc. All and each of such changes call for a relook as to whether the original positioning of the product is still optimal or not. Stagnating or declining sales also point to a need for reassessment of the original product positioning. A vast number of FMCG products, consumer durables, automobiles, brands, etc. have repositioned several times in the recent past and still continue to do so to be relevant and match to the fast-changing customer needs and wants and serve different market segments identified by the firms in a competitive market environment. Branding, advantages and disadvantages. Branding as an aspect of product marketing can be analyzed from two different standpoints, that of buyers and of sellers. It is also possible to have a societal viewpoint. Buyers. The buyers can derive several advantages. Number 1. A brand generally denotes uniform quality. Number 2. It makes shopping easier. Number 3. Competition among brands can over a period of time lead to quality improvements. And number 4, purchasing a socially visible brand can give psychological satisfaction to the buyer. There are, however, some negative aspects as well. Number 1, since brand development costs money, product prices tend to go up. And number 2, taking advantage of the popularity of a brand, a manufacturer may reduce quality gradually. Sellers. A marketer can also derive certain advantages. Number 1, it helps in product identification. Number 2, in a highly competitive market, it can carve out a niche for itself through product differentiation. And number 3, if brand loyalty can be developed through successful promotion, the firm will be able to exert quasi-monopolistic power. But to obtain the advantages, it is necessary for the manufacturer to invest resources in promoting the brand name. Then comes societal view. From a macro standpoint, a brand's role in improving and maintaining product quality can be considered as positive. Brands also help in better dissemination of product knowledge. Better knowledge can contribute to more scientific and rational decision making. There is, however, an opposite view as well. Many critics feel that branding often leads to higher cost and therefore prices. It can also allow the manufacturers to get higher returns than normal through excessive or strong brand loyalty. Selecting a brand name. Finding an appropriate name for a new product is a tricky job, basically for two reasons. Firstly, the name should be one which satisfies several marketing criteria, some of which we will discuss in a while. Secondly, the name should not be one which is already being used by another firm. This necessitates extensive investigations. Marketing criteria. There is no simple solution to the name selection decision. However, through extensive research and accumulated past experiences, market researchers have developed certain principles which should be followed. They are: number 1. A brand name should reflect directly or indirectly some aspect of the product, like benefits, functions, etc. For example, the name Fair and Lovely immediately connotes the product has to do something with skin or beauty care. Number 2. A brand should be distinctive, especially if the product requires such distinction. For example, a name like Chancellor for a cigarette conjures up idea of status, power, and opulent lifestyle. Number 3. A brand name should be easy to pronounce and remember. Examples are Brew, Asha, Java, etc. And number 4, it should be such that it can be legally protected if necessary. A firm invests substantial amount of money on a brand. It should therefore ensure that nobody else takes advantage of the brand illegally. Though there is no foolproof system for trademark protection, there are certain steps that can be of substantive help. Number 1. Use the generic name of the product in association with the trademark. An example is Pearl Pet, where PET is the acronym for generic technical product, that is polyethylene terephthalate, while Pearl is the brand associated. Number 2. Designate the brand name as a trademark by actual notice. If the mark is registered, then proper form of notice is the letter R enclosed in a circle. Number 3. Display the mark with some form of special graphic treatment. A trademark is not a noun, therefore it can be capitalized. If it can be printed in some distinctive logotype, so much the better. Number 4. Do not use the trademark in the wrong grammatical form. It should not be used as a noun, verb, in the plural or in the possessive. Number 5. The trademark should not be altered by additions or abbreviations. And number 6. Use the trademark for a line of products. Packaging. Packaging has been variously defined in both technical and marketing literature. One of the most quoted definition is, and I quote, "Packaging is the art, science and technology of preparing goods for transport and sale." Unquote. This definition brings out two salient aspects of packaging. These are: number 1. It has to help in the physical handling, storing and transportation and sale of the products packaged. Number 2. Packaging as a function consists of two distinct elements. Number 1. The positive aspects, which are the science and technology related to package design, selection of packaging materials, etc. And number 2. The behavioral aspects, like the art of product design, which is associated with consumer motivation research, buying research, etc. The last aspect has been highlighted in another definition of packaging, which is, and I quote, "Properly designed, the package should enhance the value of its contained product and impart that impression either directly or subtly to the customer." Unquote. The role of packaging in value enhancement is increasingly becoming important in not only consumer marketing but across all categories of goods and products.
We were listening to the audiobook by the School of Management Studies IGNOU for MBA program, course code Mmpc 006, Marketing Management. Course Coordinator Professor T.B. Vijay Kumar, School of Management Studies, IGNOU. Edited by Savita. Program assisted by Tarannum Jahan and Jagbandhu Jana. Program produced by Dr. Manoj Kumar Singh. This program was brought to you by Electronic Media Production Center of Indira Gandhi National Open University.